Alright, so we see one of our main protagonists, Anna, in the hospital that she works at. And she just got done giving the man a head x-ray for a bite that he received on his hand. Now, that's really suspicious. But what's even more suspicious is that when Ann takes her ass home, she lays right in bed with her dirty ass scrubs on. And most nurses do like 10 to 12 hour shifts. So you trying to tell me she didn't take no bath, no nothing, just hop straight into bed with work clothes on? And do this nigga got jeans on? Yo, what's wrong with this household, bro? This that white people shit, man. But the next morning rolls around and Anna and her husband are woken up by nigga, what is that? But I know exactly how to treat this situation. But before I tell you how to do this the right way, let me tell you how to do this the wrong way. The look of concern this nigga has on his face, yeah, wipe that off your face. At the end of the day, this little girl is an intruder in your home, so treat her as such. If her age is on the clock, she's old enough to get this Glock. So the fact that he got bit right here is entirely his fault. Now let's backpedal a little bit. Here's the right way to do that. Let's say you're just waking up. Vision a little blurry, movement a little groggy, not all the way there. And then you see a silhouette of a person standing outside of your door. It's not very many options you have here. So you either A, fight for your life, or B, make the intruder fight for their life and see where it goes. Now that Buddy has officially won the Darwin Awards, Anna then gets left alone to clutch a 2v1, and somehow she clutches the dub. Once she makes it out to her car, she burns rubber. She does the dash all the way until she makes it to a highway, until somebody tried to GTA her shit. But in the midst of trying to defend herself and regain control of her car, she ended up going down the hill and crashing into a tree. And the moment she regained consciousness and crawled out of the car, she had a 12 gauge put in her face. Like, oh, she cannot catch a break. But the exchange of words that these two have are so hilarious.
Say something.
Please.
Like, nigga, what do you mean, please? This motherfucker's about to peel your muffin cap back blue, and you gonna say please? You could have said anything else. Help, hungry, water, black. Anything would have been better than please. So since Anna ended up not getting a high taper, her and Kenneth, that big ass nigga, ran into another group of people, and one of which happened to be pregnant. Now I'm gonna need y'all to keep that in mind. Remember that. Now with them being in one big group of 5, they all decide to hold up in the nearby mall. And you would think going to the mall in the zombie apocalypse would be a great idea. And once the gang split up, Michael checked one of the stores to see if the coast was clear. And it indeed was not clear. But thankfully for Michael, he has the reflexes of a middle-aged white man. And he was able to dispatch of that Mr. Clean looking ass zombie while only fuck. Y'all get what I'm trying to say.
Sustaining.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Kenneth, Annie, and Luda are out checking out their part of the mall when Luda got jumped by one singular zombie who apparently got trained in the shinobi way. Because how didn't you hear anything? No shambling, no walking, no dragging of the feet. Then when Kenneth tried to help, he got hit with a
Blue 42. Ready up?
But it's a good thing Annie picked up that shotgun because Kenneth almost got turned into a crispy 10-piece. But they end up getting out of that situation and linking up with Michael. So they all hopped on the elevator only to get met by mall security. And now they're having an old-fashioned Mexican standoff until Annie just gives up her shotgun. Sometime later, a new group of survivors are seen on the security cam driving towards the mall while our group wants to help them, but the rent-a-cops wants to leave them out. But it's a good thing the nigga holding the gun isn't looking where he's pointing that shit, because Michael has clearly been watching these disarming videos and gave him a free dental visit. Now that Annie's group has control over the situation, Andre and Michael go outside to try to help the survivors get inside the mall. And this next scene is where my morals get tested to the limit, because I'm all for helping people out for the most part, but the first person we see when the camera pans to the new survivors is somebody that's already infected.
Fuck no, baby.
I don't know why people thinking shit sweet. She looks terrible. If it was me, I would have wheelbarrowed her ass right outside that door. And if anybody had a problem with it, I would have whipped out this calculator and solved any problem they had. Aside from the bloater that I mentioned earlier, did I tell y'all that there was a second person that's bit in this group? And not that much time goes by before we see the first lady that was bit turn into a zombie and starts chasing Anna. Now, luckily, she was able to pack that zombie up, but now everybody looking at each other like,
boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
And then Annie started using that brain of hers and came up with a theory that makes a lot of sense.
I think it's the bites.
Well, no fucking shit.
Did you forget what happened to your husband? A bite literally turned him into a D1 Chris Brown impersonator. And as far as the other person that's bit, well...
That nigga is guilty! Hang that nigga now! I got the rope right here!
With the old guy getting sicker by the minute, their suspicions are confirmed. So Kenneth takes one for the team and sends him to the giant mall in the sky.
Anna.
I'm glad you didn't do it.
Let's just take a moment of silence real quick for old dude. So after the group takes care of those two infected, everything is okay for the next few days, all the way up until the power goes out, and no power means no lights. And in order to try to turn it back on, they have to go down to the parking garage, which is in the basement. So two of the security guards and Michael make their way down there, and Kenneth just comes in last minute just acting like he running shit.
We ready to roll?
You coming with us?
Nah, you coming with me.
Like, nigga, okay, Timmy Tough Knuckles, the fuck? You gonna bring your old ass on? So they finally make it into the parking garage, and young security guard is immediately attacked by a zombie with no legs. And then he gets bit. And because they were making so much noise down there, that attracted even more zombies. And young bull did not make it. But luckily for the rest of them, they managed to find an enclosed gate in the parking garage, and they were able to burn all of the zombies. But they're not out of the woods yet, because back upstairs, shit's getting hectic. Because a few days ago, Andre was acting rude and standoffish towards Anna when she was just trying to go check on his wife.
Hey, Andre, how's Luda doing?
She's fine.
I'd like to drop by and check on her and just see how she's doing.
No thanks. She's fine.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
Lock his ass up. Lock his ass up. You're going to jail. You're going to jail.
And it turns out she was infected. Now, how, you might ask? Do you remember back when she was at the water fountain? The zombie that attacked her ended up scratching her, and apparently that's enough to turn somebody. And this little peanut head ass nigga knew she was infected and chose not to tell nobody. But Norma uses her old lady intuition and finds out that Luda turned into a zombie, and she wastes no time up in that Elmer Fudd. But as soon as Norma shoots Luda, Andre shoots Norma, and then they just start blinking. Then they just start blicking each other. I ain't gonna hold you though. That Snow Bunny Pum Pum be making niggas do outlandish shit. Even while being infected with the zombie virus, she had Andre in there like this.
Give me pum pum, girl. Give me pum pum.
And in the end, none of them survived, except for one. And I'm sorry, we can't leave no loose ends undone. So with the group questioning the safety of the mall, they start to pack everything up and get ready to leave because this guy, Steve, apparently has a boat. And they know of an island just off the coast. And with them finishing up on the buses, they're finally able to leave. But hold on real quick, let me whip out my thesaurus. I gotta use the proper word for the amount of zombies that's out there. And the moment they left the parking garage, they were met by a throng of zombies. Your boy got knowledge. And at this point, the survivors had been driving for a while now. And with all of the commotion that was going on, Kenneth manages to lose focus just long enough to mess up big time. No rush. And he manages to flip the bus. And now everybody on that bus is dead besides Steve and Kenneth. But don't worry, because Steve gonna get his. While the rest of the survivors spin the block, pick up Kenneth, headshot Steve, grab his keys, and do the dash all the way to the boat. But there's just one problem. Buddy got bit. So he does one last selfless act and pushes the boat off the pier and then checks himself out of that hotel permanently. So with only a handful of survivors left, they managed to make it to the island. But the island is overrun by zombies too. And then the movie cuts there and we don't know what happens to them. And that's it for today's review, y'all. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.